Welcome to this talk on keeping records and claiming expenses for the self-employed. I'm going to give you an overview today on how to keep records for your self-employed business. We're also going to look at different costs that you can claim. So first of all, what is self-employment? Self-employment is when you supply goods or services directly either to the public or to another business. This is different from being employed. So you are providing the service and you're invoicing the customer. If you're self-employed, you need to register with HMRC and pay the necessary taxes to them. In addition, you need to keep records of your income and your costs. And what we're going to look at today is in detail, how do you keep those records and what costs are deductible for tax. You will have your incomes, that's what you've invoiced your customers, and then you've got your costs. Your income less your costs are the profit, and that's what you're taxed on. We're going to move on and look at record keeping. Now, records can be kept manually, so that would be an old-fashioned ledger or piece of paper. They can be kept on a spreadsheet, or they can be used on an online system. I would recommend using an online system if you can. These systems have a lot of different features that make your life a lot easier and automate the process for you, both recording from your bank account and also then giving you the figures that you need for your tax return. I always recommend that when you're self-employed, you keep a separate bank account for your self-employment. This will normally be a business bank account, and you can, all the big banks offer a business account, but there's generally going to be a charge for that. You can also use a separate current account, or there are a number of free business bank accounts that are available, and we'll look at that in a bit more detail on the next slide. The key point that I'm making here is that you want to have all your business income and costs separate from your personal costs. This makes the administration a lot easier, and in the event of an inquiry from HMRC, you're able to just present the business transactions. There are some free online systems available which make your record keeping easier, and as I said before, I would definitely recommend looking at either one of the paid or free online systems. So we're going to go on and have a look at the online systems in a bit more detail. Now, one particular one I recommend, and it's not because I'm connected with them in any way, it is just because they are available at the moment. It's a bank account called Metal. It's a free business bank account. It's run by NatWest, and as well as giving you the free business bank account, you also get access to an online system called FreeAgent, which is an excellent online system. So that's one option, and if you're eligible for that account, I would definitely recommend that. If you can't use the Metal account, there's a number of other business accounts, or failing that, as I said, you can just set up a separate current account and keep your business transactions in that. Once you've got your bank account set up and you're using it, you can then download the transactions from your account using your online banking, and that will give you a file with all your transactions which you can manually record. You could put them into a spreadsheet, or ideally import them into an online system, and that import is actually happens automatically with something like FreeAgent and Metal and a number of the other systems that are available. So at this point, you hopefully have a bank account and an online system set up, and then we want to move on to looking at what costs you can actually claim as a deduction from your income. So, as an overreaching rule, you can claim all costs that relate wholly and exclusively to your business. So anything that is that what we call cost of sales. So these are costs that you incur to make, produce, or arrive at what you sell. An example of this would be if you sell takeaway food, then it would be the raw ingredients that you use to make that food, as well as the equipment that you use to produce the food. Now, many of you may not be in that kind of business. You may be in more of a service type business. Like myself as an accountant, I don't have a lot of cost of sales, but I do have some. For example, if I pay for software, that the client uses on an online system, that would be a cost of sale. So just to reiterate, as a service industry, you wouldn't have a lot of cost of sales. As a general rule, if you've gone out to buy something for the business and you wouldn't have bought it if you weren't in business, then that is probably going to be a business cost, and that's probably going to be wholly and exclusively for your business.